2019, and today I will be reviewing the movie called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's a Nicolas Cage movie that came out, I think, 2 years ago at this point, which is still insane to me that it came out 2 years ago. It feels like it came out yesterday because I watched it when it was fairly new. So I hope all of you enjoy the video. And one quick thing, if you notice a huge difference, if you've seen my first movie review video and you see a huge difference between my hair from that video to this video, it's because I got a haircut right in between the two. Like, worst timing. Filmed my first movie review video, my hair is all long, and then I got a haircut and filmed this one. So, just quick little disclaimer. And I tried to use standard fair use rules when showing clips from the movie in my videos. And if you have any advice on that, of any kind, leave them in the comments below. If the comments are on, I've been having a glitch with them. But I don't want to bore you too much, so without further ado, let's get right into this video. So as usual, we will start with segment 1, which is my expectations. So thinking back to when this movie first came out, like, I didn't see it in theaters, I saw it when it came out on Blu-ray. I was like mildly excited for this movie because I'm a person that almost goes into any movie with like super low expectations. I've always just been that way. But I was excited for this one because I've always been a fan of Nicolas Cage's movies and I've heard good things about this one. So I was probably like expecting like a 5.5 out of 10 when I first heard of it. But I just keep so low expectations for almost any movie. So 5.5 is actually kind of high for my expectations. So in this movie, Nicolas Cage is sort of playing himself. Like, in a way he's playing himself, in a way he's not. Because yes, in this movie his name is Nicolas Cage. He's an actor. They even mention some of his real life movies. But at the same time, it's like his family life, the story, it's like, it's not him. It's not his life. So it's like half and half. He's kind of playing himself, he's kind of not. So the movie starts and they show his life, and like right away they show that he doesn't have a very good relationship with his one daughter. And you can kind of like infer that when she was younger that he used to spend like a lot of time with her, of course. But now she's older and they've kind of just grown apart and he's separated from his wife. So it just shows that he's like, as an actor, he almost didn't make too much time for his family. Which, little sidebar here, I imagine that was weird for him to like do. Like, have it like be him but not him. And so I can see why he didn't want to do this movie in the first place, because I heard that he didn't want to do this movie in the first place, but then he was decided like, oh, okay, I will. So it shows that he doesn't have a very good relationship with his movie family, and it shows that I think he's in debt. Now why I say I think is because I was gonna watch this movie before I did this review, but I didn't have time to, so I'm just running off of the memory of it, which on me is fine because I've seen this movie multiple times. I like it, but I'm running the memory off of it. So if I can remember correctly, he's in debt. So when his manager tells him that there's this like rich person who wants Nicolas Cage to attend their party, and later you find out that they also want him to see their script, the movie script that they wrote. They're like, this rich person who's willing to pay a lot for Nicolas Cage to go to their party. At first he's like, what, like, I'm an actor, like, supposed to go entertain people or what, like. But then because he's in debt, he ends up going to this person's place because he's like, okay, they're offering like a lot of money. So he gets off the plane going to this person's house, and right away you realize there's something wrong there because there's 2 CIA agents waiting at the airport, and they're waiting for someone to get off that plane that is going to that person's house, but they don't expect it to be Nicolas Cage. And then they end up going with whatever plan they had anyway, because they're talking about like, oh, we're not gonna get another chance at this. So then they end up following Nicolas Cage and watching him, following him to this person's house. So then he goes to this person's house, and their name is Javi. And Javi's a big fan of Nicolas Cage. In this movie, He's played by the actor Pedro Pascal. So Javi's a big fan of Nicolas Cage in this movie, and he's written a script. And at first, like, things are like a little awkward. Like, Nicolas Cage is just like, man, like, he feels mid about this entire thing. But then they start bonding over Paddington 2 and life. And if you watch this movie, you'll know what I mean by that. So they start bonding and they're having a good time. But then the CIA agents pull Nicolas Cage to the side and say that Javi is a person of interest in a kidnapping that they're looking into. The CIA agents say that Javi and some of his people, that they suspect them for kidnapping this girl who's like the daughter, I think, of a politician, or I can't remember, like someone who's the rival, because Javi and his family, they're all like big names, not really politicians too much, but like big names where they come from. Now I can't remember where they actually are. I know it's somewhere outside the US, but that could be so many places. I can't remember actually where they are in this movie, but they suspect Javi and some of his people of kidnapping this girl. So then they tell Nicolas Cage that, and they ask him if he can like spy on Javi for them and help them, and eventually they get him on board. So now he's like, maybe this Javi person isn't a good person like I thought he was. So then they have him do a bunch of crazy things for them, spying, and it actually gets pretty dangerous. But it's just like, it's super funny. Like, first of all, I just want to say that this movie is just like a feel-good movie. Like, it's just funny all the way through. And I want to really make that clear. I want to put that out there, because it almost seems like I'm talking like, oh, kidnapping, CIA. Almost doesn't sound like a funny, light movie, but it really is. It's just like a movie I'll watch because it's just like really funny. It's a feel-good movie, so I really love it for that. So I just want to make that clear right away. So then Nicolas Cage, he does more investigating, and they find out that Javi is actually not as guilty as they thought. Like, it's someone else that he's connected to. Now I won't tell you who, because I don't want to give away too much. I do want you to see this movie. It's really fun. But it turns out Javi's actually not really too much of the guilty one. So then he tells him who is the guilty one, and then they're shot at, and craziness, and then Nicolas Cage's family gets involved in this, and now they have to go and find the kidnapped girl. So in this movie, Nicolas Cage's wife is like a big time makeup artist for movies, so she makes them look like completely different people, and they go to try and find the kidnapped girl where the bad guys are at. So they find her and they rescue her, and of course Javi's there helping him, even though technically this is like kind of his people. Like, he's the innocent family member, he's the innocent one out of all of his allies, all of his people. He's the innocent one, so he's helping Nicolas Cage. And then they find the kidnapped girl who's kidnapped at the beginning, and there's an epic car chase, and they're trying to get to the American embassy because that's where they'll be safe. And they get to the American embassy, they're safe, and it transitions from what was happening in the movie to, you find out they made a movie in this movie about what happened. If you get what I'm saying, like, they used part of Javi's script and they made a movie, but also out of what happened. So now the movie is coming to an end, and it shows them at the premiere of that movie, and it shows that Nicolas Cage has gotten closer with his family. He's getting more involved with his family rather than just with all his acting career, which I think that might have been a weird thing for Nicolas Cage in real life to actually do for the movie. Like, but I don't know, who knows, he did it well though. He played himself yet not himself really well. So the movie ends, it's all happy and triumphant, and I can't even explain half of this movie's greatness. There's just so much I'm leaving out, and I'm still getting used to like explaining these. I still feel like I'm not very good at it, but I'm getting better. Every video is more and more practice, so I'm getting better at it. So I just really love this movie. It's just like a feel-good movie, like a movie I feel like I could watch almost every single day. And it's baffling me right now that the first time I watched it was expectations compared to my usual expectations for movies. So this movie is really great. I love it. I really, really think you should watch this one. Like, this is a must watch. Like, even if you're not a fan of Nicolas Cage's work, I think you could still love this movie. But you'll love it even more if you're very familiar with his work and the movies he's done in the past. So now we are coming to the end of this video, and I hope all of you enjoyed. And if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. And if my comments aren't glitching anymore, if they're on, please leave some kind words or some advice or just anything,